Paul Pogba, Lukaku, Anthony Martial, Harry Maguire, and Eden Hazard. You definitely know these guys as being infamous for making today's list of the worst signings in football history. Yes, you read that right. Today we're going to look at not just why these players are the worst signings, but also how they managed to make this list. Hit that subscribe button and don't miss out, unlike Eden Hazard, who once upon a time missed a total of 174 days due to injury. Yo, real talk though, whatever happened to a man like Eden Hazard? I mean, he was once a literal hazard in the Premier League. This man was unstoppable in his Chelsea days. From career-ending twists and turns, glorious goals, Player of the Season awards, and the FIFA card of a 91 rating back in 2019. Hell, the man even made it on the front cover of FIFA 20. So just what went wrong for Eden Hazard? In fact, a better question is, what really went right for him in his time at Real Madrid? But before that, let's run it back to 2005, shall we? 14-year-old Eden Hazard arrives in France to pursue a career as a footballer. And the little boy found himself playing for, well, the Lille Academy in France. And just 2 years later, he made his first team debut at the age of 16. In his time there, he scored 36 goals in 147 appearances. 2012 comes by and Hazard decides to head out and lands in London, signing for Chelsea. In his time at Chelsea, Hazard was him. No, seriously, this guy had it all. Pace, technique, dribbling, agility, and in his 7 years at Chelsea, Hazard won 2 Premier League titles, 2 Europa League titles, and like 2 domestic cups, I think. But yeah, enough of that, cause now I'm gonna tell you exactly where things started to go wrong for Eden. Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all remember this guy, right? So yeah, basically John spoke in an interview and stated that Eden Hazard was the worst in training. He would have his laces undone, get really relaxed, didn't want to get injured during the week, and didn't even want to push. But give him the ball and he will come alive. So Eden was a very talented world-class footballer, naturally gifted. He played some of the best football ever seen from a winger and in the Premier League too. So when Real Madrid splashed a total of 146 million euros, Hazard became the new number 7. And by that, I mean 7,000 pounds more. I mean sheesh. Bro came back looking like a marketing executive who casually likes to play football with his son, because he feels like his work never gives him time to do so. And because of that, his time was off to a rocky start. Him eating McDonald's Happy Meals delayed his debut for the club by 2 months. But still, Hazard finally got things rolling with a goal and an assist against Granada. I mean, from this point on, and no disrespect or anything, but bro was pretty much trash. Hazard found the La Liga more challenging than he anticipated. Bro thought that 7 years against the likes of Kompany, Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, and Ashley Young was enough to prepare him for the physicality in the Spanish league. And so began a chain of injuries, starting with an injury against PSG where he missed 15 games and a further 76 days for his knee. But man, the 2020 to 2021 season was so brutal to Hazard, man. Because not only did he suffer an ankle fracture requiring 2 surgeries and a metal plate, that shit gave him issues for a whole 2 seasons, man. On top of that, with COVID, he missed over 150 days of football. And with Vinicius Jr. cementing himself as one of the most prolific wingers of his generation, there was no way Eden was ever going to get another chance at glory. So, I mean, hey, why not ride along? You are in Real Madrid after all. So with that said, Hazard for the next 4 years became best friends with the benches at the Bernabeu and still managed to win a Spanish Cup, a Copa del Rey, 2 La Liga titles, and 1 UCL, all without lifting a single finger. Except maybe when he's eating hamburgers or to lift the trophies, I suppose. In the end, my guy had to retire from the national team after Belgium's group stage exit in 2022 and will leave Real Madrid in the 2023 transfer summer window. But hey, at least it's not at his former club anymore, cause boy, Chelsea's looking like they're in shambles. I mean, not that long ago the team won the Champions League in 2021, and then just 2 years later, they've had one of the worst seasons, coming in 13th in the league and nearly had Mrs. Holland scoring more than them. Well, it's no surprise that Chelsea is lacking in goals. After a whopping transfer of more than £500 million, you'd expect them to get in the top 4 at least, or even sign a damn striker. After they offloaded Romelu Lukaku to Inter Milan, Chelsea signed Big Rom for £97.5 million. I mean, just like any other big money move, it all started out well, with Lukaku scoring and assisting against Arsenal in his second game. This was no surprise because before joining Chelsea in his second spell, Lukaku scored 24 goals and finished with 11 assists for Inter Milan. I mean, Chelsea fans really hoped that Lukaku would be the one to finally end their number 9 curse. Cause let's face it, we all know the number 9 shirt is a curse for Chelsea. And before him, there was Fernando Torres, Radamel Falcao, and Gonzalo Higuain. And by the way bro, all of these guys were true hitmen and even they all failed to shoulder the number 9 shirt. So I guess Lukaku became the next victim. Even though Lukaku started out pretty well, scoring 3 goals in his first 3 away games as well as a brace against Aston Villa and more than 1,000 gallons of sweat produced, it all began going downhill for Lukaku. Hit with an ankle injury and diagnosed with COVID-19 in December, things went from bad to worse. After his interview with Sky Italia in December, he saw a loss in favor among the Chelsea faithful. Since then, he never really found himself back in the good books at Stamford Bridge. 12 goals in 32 matches for a striker who basically cost £100 million is absolutely shambolic, man. But hey, I get it. A lot of you think Lukaku has truly fallen from grace. I mean, after his performance in the UCL final, Inter Milan is still interested in keeping him. And on top of that, Megan's probably throwing it back left, right, and center all over my boy Rom. So yeah, I too would be confused as to how he's winning so much in life, even though he's not really winning so much when it comes to football. But still, at least this transfer agreement didn't have a $7 million Ballon d'Or clause, like Anthony Martial's. Damn bro, where do I even start with Martial? Actually, in his debut season, Anthony Martial scored 17 goals and finished with 9 assists. I mean, I guess a 26-goal contribution is a very good accomplishment for any 19-year-old. See, the thing is, Anthony Martial was signed by Louis van Gaal and was played as the main striker alongside Marcus Rashford. So it's no surprise he put up impressive numbers. It was a match made in heaven between manager and player, cause it looked like Van Gaal could be the one to unlock Martial's full potential. You know, the kind of potential this guy saw.
Martial will be the best player in the world. Martial will be the best in the world.
But shit man, that didn't happen cause after Louis van Gaal was sacked, Jose Mourinho came in and immediately opted for none other than Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which meant Anthony Martial would play on the wing. The impact wasn't as good as his first season, since he scored 8 goals and assisted 8 more. After Zlatan's departure, Martial thought, finally, I'm back to striker once again. And that's when Romelu Lukaku spoiled the party back in 2017, which meant that Martial would still have to play wing, and decently putting up 11 goals and 10 assists. A year later, Don Didier Deschamps didn't include him in his WC selection. And on top of that, Alexis Sanchez was practically signed as a starter ahead of him. Not a good year at all. The shame, the humiliation, the embarrassment, the bench. When will it end? When will it end? Is probably something Martial kept thinking to himself about. It seemed he was finally finding his form once more under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who led him to 22 goals and 6 assists in all competitions after Jose Mourinho was sacked. Still, Ole must have thought to himself, wait, hang on a minute. Something's still missing here. And that something must have been quite a big something, because bro went on and signed 2 lethal strikers, Edinson Cavani and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hey bro, come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
So it's no wonder he just literally lost all motivation and was heavily criticized by managers as lacking defensive and overall discipline in his game. Hell, the guy even arrived late to training after the Euro 2020 tournament. Even though with Eric Bailly coming in, things aren't exactly looking up for him still. Apparently, streets are saying he's up for a £15 million transfer to whichever club that will reinvent Tony Martial and give this guy the ending he so desires.
Martial will be the best in the world.
Next up, Harry Maguire. Yo, would you believe me if I told you that Harry Maguire is the most expensive defender ever? No, seriously, like he actually is. Maguire joined United for a £80 million deal from Leicester in August 2019. And with that sort of amount, it's clear he has never really coped under this pressure. After 34-year-old Ashley Young moved to Inter in 2020, Maguire somehow became the captain of one of the biggest clubs in the world. Bro literally had dons like Ronaldo, Varane, and Casemiro calling him captain. Fair play to him though. I mean, after all, he did earn the right to some extent. In 2021, Maguire ranked amongst the top defenders and CDMs in various statistics. Bro came second for most interceptions, he came second for duels, second for successful passes, and second in the Europa League. But hey man, it wasn't a good 2021 to 2022 season for Harry Maguire, cause bro started playing like pure ass, man. Man United went from a GD of 29 to 0, finishing with their lowest ever Premier League points tally. Maguire's horrendous performances saw Man United conceded 57 goals in the 2021 to 2022 season. So overall, not good at all. Hell, no wonder the man got threatened with a bomb if he didn't transfer out by the end of the 2023 season. So I had to reach out to him and find out how he was doing. I don't know why y'all hate on him. Frankly, I think he's a nice guy. He showed me around his house, we played the piano, played some football, I helped him move a fridge he wanted to get rid of too. See, Maguire has had this fridge ever since he arrived in Manchester back in 2019. Him and I were spitballing about a few destinations we could send the fridge to. I suggested Spain, Germany, France, but he didn't agree with those choices at all. And that's when I came up with the brilliant idea of sending the fridge to one of the best places in the world. Where the sun shines ever so bright, Vogue-level women everywhere, immaculate cuisine, beautiful sights and weather, Italy. I suggested we ship the fridge to Italy. You know, to a team that is very laid back, all about good vibes and not all serious. And a team with very elite players too. So why not send the fridge to Juventus, right? But it wasn't easy, man. I had to call all my homies at Juve and convince them over and over and over again till they decided, meh, why not? So that being said, Harry Maguire, the fridge. The fridge made its way to the old lady in Italy where Juventus welcomed it with open arms and promised to take care of it. Unlike the harsh treatment it received in England. Oh, speaking of, this reminds me of another failed signing who went to Juventus. My sources tell me that he's played a total of 90 minutes only, but the season's literally been going on for the past 6 months. What the f? You know what? I'm actually not surprised, you know. After all, we are speaking about Paul Pogba. Another failed signing. Paul Pogba played for the United Academy, left for free, came back for $100 million and was let go for free. Now, having heard that, you cannot tell me that this is not one of the worst businesses ever done by a club in the transfer window. I mean, seriously. Both of these clubs took massive L's, man. I mean, you'd think with Pogba becoming Juventus' new number 10 and all, they would actually start looking like an elite club once again. But no! Because just like glass, Paul Pogba seems to break every single time he gets touched. But hey man, even the best players face setbacks in life. But what if these setbacks have been constant? Like literally for the past 8 years. I mean, it's no surprise Juventus are allegedly considering the termination of Pogba's contract already. Paul Pogba's woes began back in 2016, when he made the huge mistake of signing for Man United. At the time, he was the world's most expensive signing. I mean, to be fair, because I am a fair person, I gotta give kudos to Pogba's iconic performances, like the brace against Man City and even helping United secure the FA Cup and the Europa League in 2017. But Pogba's 6 years were nothing but overwhelmingly full of poor and inconsistent performances. One of Pogba's injuries cost him a total of 72 games missed in his previous last 3 seasons before joining Juve. He even missed the World Cup due to a knee problem. With his knee being injured and all, and the fact that football players have the best physios and doctors known to man… No, like seriously, just ask Harvey Elliott. Bro broke his ankle and like just 4 months later, he was back in action. Just like that. And now you're probably wondering why the same couldn't be done to Paul Pogba. Well…
Back outside, boys, told 70 on the strip, I'm ready to die. Cutting the tracks, better than try to bring John, told me he…
Yeah. Instead of working hard on his recovery, a man like Pogba chose to dance around to Back Outside Boys by Drake and tagged it the best way to test your knee. Wow, Paul. Wow. I call it the best way to… Yeah, I can't really think of anything. Tell you what, why don't you help me come up with something right below in the comment section? Leave a like and while you're commenting, take time to watch this video. So, go ahead man, click the video.